We begin with the pair all of Australia is talking about, Andrew Chan and Myuran Sukumaran. Barring a miraculous breakthrough, the fate of the Bali Nine ringleaders appears to be sealed. Indonesia seems intent on shooting them dead, but many people here and around the world wonder why mercy can't be shown to two radically reformed young men. Tonight, remarkable new insights into those changed lives. Dramatic, previously unseen video and revelations from inside Kerobokan. Mike Willesee witnessed their transformations firsthand. Here's his profoundly moving report.
Dear me, when you're older, you'll be in a Bali prison and you will be executed.
You had Andrew write a letter to himself as a 15-year-old.
Yes, I did, yeah.
This happened to you because you thought taking drugs was cool. Underneath, you're not a bad person, and drugs made you different. Your family and your friends are heartbroken, and your life will be ended by a firing squad. My name is Andrew Chan.
My name's Andrew Chan. It's a day, pretty much a few hours after the execution. 6 innocent lives. Guess what runs through my head is about how precious life really is.
I met Andrew Chan and Myuran Sukumaran a little over a year ago. Spent some time with them inside Kerobokan prison.
And this is home.
Yeah.
I got to know them both pretty well. At the time, they were living on hope, but the reality of being executed by firing squad was ever present.
So you dream often, maybe every day?
Yeah. I try not to, but it does come back.
What is the dream?
Yeah, about being let out and being blindfolded and being executed.
At any time, they could possibly take you out of your cell and execute you. And what I choose to think is, if they do choose to do that, I hope that I've made a difference within myself, and that I have changed, and that I've actually, done everything that I could have ever done, to better myself.
I was with Andrew and Myuran for 4 days. Even though they were on death row, the expectation was that Indonesia wouldn't go through with the death sentence because, as I found, these young Australians had come so far, rehabilitated, reformed, call it what you like. For me, they'd become decent human beings.
So Myuran painted all these?
Yeah, he did. He painted all this.
So this is the Bali Nine.
It is. So we have Martin Stevens, life sentence. C.E. Chen, life sentence. Myuran Sukumaran, death sentence. Matthew Norman, life sentence. Myself, I'm in the centre, death sentence. Tan Nguyen, life sentence. Michael Shugai, life sentence. Scott Rush, life sentence. And Renee Lawrence, 20-year sentence.
The Bali Nine, all captured on canvas, all painted by Myuran. Within the studios he'd set up inside the prison, he'd graduated from drug runner to artist and a teacher. More than 40 inmates attended his classes every day.
You painted a beautiful picture of your mother, which we have here. When you look into your mother's eyes as you've painted them, what do you see?
Sadness.
What else do you see in her face?
Strength, maybe.
Strength.
Yeah. She's had to endure a lot in her life, and now she's enduring this situation.
Can you remember your first reaction when you were arrested?
You know it's the police. They said it was the police and stuff. And I didn't believe it until I got to the police station the next day in the morning, 7, 8 o'clock. And then that's when it sort of hit me that, oh, yeah, this is happening.
Hey, what do you think this talk, they're calling you the Godfather? What do you say about that?
I think it's rubbish.
Rubbish?
People say, was there a Mr. Big? Was there a Mr. Big?
In this factor, there probably is, but who it is, I don't know who it is.
In my book, if you are smuggling more than 8 kilograms of heroin into Australia, you'd want to know who you were doing it for. Andrew Chan claims he didn't know, and Myuran did not want to talk about it.
Who asked you?
There was a bunch of people in Sydney.
Have you told the police who they are?
No.
Why not?
I want to say that, what do you call it? Can you stop recording first?
With the cameras off, Myuran still did not name Mr. Big. He said he feared for the safety of his family, but he did admit to trying to use that information when they were being sentenced.
We tried with the police to get some kind of cooperation thing, but they weren't really, like, that was our only card that we had to play, and that, you know, we tried to, how do you say it, ask them for some leniency, but they wouldn't, and then the lawyers advised us not to go that way.
If you had that information, could you have tried to use it to trade for a lesser sentence?
Probably. I probably could. However, it's something I do not know. You know, I only can really just tell on my side of things of what I do know.
What they had known for 10 long years was that their only way out of here was death, either by execution or old age.
I don't want to be executed, but I don't want Andrew to be executed. It's a struggle to think about stuff like that. I thought about hanging myself before allowing somebody else to shoot me, honestly. I don't really think about... I would enjoy the process of sort of being dragged in front of, you know, firing squad.
In Kerobokan, there's more than 1,000 prisoners, but Andrew and Myuran stood out.
Straight.
What I observed during the time I was there was the respect and influence they had with not only other inmates, but also the guards. I'll give you an example. Getting our camera gear in and out of the prison every day was difficult, and we ran the risk of not being allowed back in. Myuran said we could leave it in the prison. I asked if it would be safe in a place filled with criminals. He said he'd make sure that no one touched it, and no one did.
So let's look at verses 10.
And here is another example of the authenticity of their transformation.
That we're extremely vulnerable to temptation.
We asked Andrew to arrange a Bible class for us to film. When we'd finished, and Andrew had no idea I was nearby, he continued to lead the class. It wasn't a performance, it wasn't for the camera. His faith was real.
I could sit here and say sorry to the public and sorry to embarrass Australia and sorry to even embarrass the Indonesian government in many ways, but sometimes sorry just doesn't cut it.
Every day in Bali, the locals make an offering to the goddess mother. And every time she went to Bali, Australian filmmaker Melinda Rutter would come to the markets to buy fresh food for her good friend Andrew Chan.
I don't condone what they did at all, but the fact is that these are two young men and it's their lives. They have changed. They are totally reformed and this is totally genuine. That's what's so sad.
5 years ago, Melinda lost her sister to a heroin overdose, which makes her close friendship with a heroin smuggler all the more unusual.
I said to Andrew, I want you to write a letter to your 15-year-old self.
He agreed to write the letter for her anti-drugs film called Dear Me.
Dear me, when you're older, you'll be in a Bali prison and you'll be executed.
The letter is a plea from Andrew to troubled teenagers thinking about dealing in drugs.
I've missed weddings, I've missed funerals, and the simple presence of my own family. The hurt and pain, I don't just put it onto myself, but the pain I put on my family is agonizing. A simple touch, such as a hug, is not possible for a condemned man like me. I have nothing but an iron bar to hug, rather than to be embraced by those I love and who I miss.
I'm losing a friend. And someone that could have made such a difference with drug education. Who's been there, who's done it, who made the wrong choices. How do you feel?
Devastated.
Yeah. You know them. You know what I'm saying is right.
In January, hope was still alive, but time was running out for Andrew and Myuran.
Don't kill him, please. Don't kill him.
At the Mercy Vigil in Sydney, Melinda got a message. It was from Andrew asking, "How is it?" She took a snapshot of the crowd of supporters and sent it back to him. Clearly, it wasn't just friends and family desperate to save their lives. It was a growing band of everyday Australians.
At the end of the day, it's just what it is. And he did do something wrong, they both did. And he did have the death penalty. And it's so terribly sad.
You are still young, and you have some serious decisions in making in your life. What you choose today will make what you have become tomorrow. Guess what runs through my head is about how precious life really is, about what we can do, about the moment that we live for. I guess sometimes you kind of got to think, what does it take to get a second chance? People get second chances within their lives on the outside, but how much can you get when you're a convicted criminal?
You have fantasies about getting out of here, about going back to Australia, having a future. Because I don't want to die.
Dear me, when you're older, you'll be in a Bali prison and you'll be executed. My name is Andrew Chan.